All right, let's get ready for kickoff, because today we're diving deep into the Europa League.
Big meeting coming up about Manchester United's match against FCSB.
We're here to make sure you're not just showing up, you're showing off.
Exactly. So we've analyzed 3 articles.
Packed with predictions.
Insights, betting chips, the whole 9 yards.
And we're going to break it all down.
Give you what you need to know.
Think of this as your pre-match cheat sheet.
Yeah, with some fun facts thrown in, of course.
So first things first, this isn't just another game.
Oh, definitely not. The stakes are huge.
What are we looking at here?
Both Manchester United and FCSB are fighting for a top 8 spot.
Top 8, okay.
In the Europa League.
Gotcha.
Which, as you know, means automatic qualification.
To the next round.
To the next round, exactly.
So a loss here could really
throw a wrench in their plans.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's start with Manchester United.
Okay.
They've won their last 4.
Right.
But their season has been a bit up and down from what I've heard.
Yeah, you could say that.
A little inconsistent.
Inconsistent is putting it mildly, I think.
Yeah. Okay, spill the tea.
One thing that really jumps out to me is they've been struggling to score goals
I see.
over their last 6 games.
Okay.
Only 3 players have found the net.
Who are we talking about here?
Amad Diallo,
Okay.
Bruno Fernandes,
All right.
Lisandro Martinez.
So basically, their whole attack is riding on these 3 players.
It's a lot of pressure, for sure.
Yeah, big time.
And it makes this a bit predictable, don't you think?
Yeah, it definitely makes them easier to defend against, I would think.
Right. But honestly, even more concerning might be their defense.
Oh, really?
They've only kept 1 clean sheet
Wow.
in their last 14 matches
Gee.
across all competitions.
So not a great recipe for success.
Especially going up against a team like FCSB.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because they can be pretty tough to beat at home, right?
You heard right, their home record is seriously intimidating.
Okay, lay it on me.
Only 3 losses
3 losses, okay.
out of their last 22 home group stage matches
Wow.
in the Europa League.
That's wild.
Plus, they've been on fire lately when it comes to scoring.
Okay.
Finding the net in 8 of their last 10 games.
So let me get this straight. We've got one team that's maybe overly reliant on a few stars.
Yeah, and a little shaky at the back.
Going up against a team that's almost unbeatable at home.
And loves to score.
This is shaping up to be quite the clash.
Especially when you consider this is actually their first ever meeting.
Oh, wow, really?
No head-to-head history to analyze.
So that adds a whole other layer
of intrigue.
I'm hooked.
Right.
Okay, but in any big match, there's always that one player everyone's watching.
Yeah.
Who should we be keeping our eye on here?
All eyes are going to be on Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno.
He's really stepped up as a leader for Manchester United.
Yeah, he has.
And with 3 goals in his last 5 games.
He's on fire.
He's the danger man right now.
He's been in amazing form.
Yeah, and on top of all of that, he's chasing a Manchester United scoring record.
Oh, right. In European competition. Add a little fuel to the fire.
Just 1 goal away from tying Marcus Rashford for the most UEFA Cup Europa League goals.
For the club.
Scored for the club, that is.
All right, we'll talk about adding to the drama.
I know, right?
Okay, enough build-up. Let's hear what the experts are predicting.
All right, so the predictions are actually all over the place.
Really?
Which just goes to show how unpredictable this match really is.
Makes sense.
The Independent is calling for a draw.
Oh, okay, a draw.
Sportskita is leaning towards a narrow Manchester United victory.
By how much?
2-1.
2-1, okay.
And the Standard,
Yeah.
also predicting a draw, but at 1-1.
So we're potentially looking at a pretty close match.
Sounds like it.
So what stands out to you about this match?
I think what's fascinating to me is the contrast in styles.
Okay, I like that.
You've got Manchester United, a team known for their attacking flair,
Right.
but struggling to find consistency.
This season?
Exactly.
Yep.
And then you've got FCSB,
The underdogs.
who might be underestimated.
Yeah, because of their name.
But they're a force to be reckoned with at home.
Especially at home.
For sure.
And we can't forget it's their first ever meeting.
I know, it's crazy.
It's like 2 worlds are colliding. You really don't know what to expect.
Exactly.
Which makes it all the more exciting.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I know, it's like one of those classic underdog sports movies.
Right.
You're just waiting to see if the home team can pull it off.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's connect all this back to you and your meeting.
Right.
You've got these contrasting styles.
Right.
The unpredictable first meeting.
Uh-huh.
The weight of history on Fernandes' shoulders. How can you use all this to impress your colleagues?
Well, first off, you can walk into that meeting knowing this is going to be a close one.
Okay, good point.
No one's expecting a blowout here.
Right. It's not like you're going in trying to explain why one team is the overwhelming favorite.
Exactly.
It really is anyone's game.
Anyone's game. And that leads perfectly into the second key takeaway.
Okay, I'm listening.
You can impress your colleagues with some really interesting nuggets of knowledge.
Oh, give me the good stuff.
All right, so let's highlight those contrasting styles we talked about.
Yeah.
You've got Manchester United, the big name, with the inconsistent form.
Right.
Versus FCSB, the potential giant slayer thriving on their home turf.
It's a great story.
And, of course, don't forget to mention Fernandes and his pursuit of that scoring record.
Oh, yeah, for sure. How could we forget?
Exactly.
And since it's their first ever meeting, you don't have to worry about anyone quizzing you on their head-to-head history.
Exactly. All that pressure is gone.
All right, so no pressure. But now it's time for predictions.
Well, all the predictions we've seen point to a tight contest.
Okay, as we discussed.
But you know me. I always like to dig a little deeper.
Oh, I know you do. Come on, spill it.
All right, so one of the articles pointed out something really interesting.
Okay.
In Manchester United's last 6 matches where they scored,
yeah,
it was the same 3 players finding the back of the net every single time.
Diallo, Fernandes, and Martinez?
The same 3.
Yep. Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
We did.
But what's the bigger implication here?
Well, it suggests that Manchester United's attack might be a little too reliant on those 3.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
If FCSB can shut them down,
yeah,
or even limit their impact, it could be a long night for Manchester United.
So maybe FCSB's manager has been studying those tapes?
It's possible.
Figuring out how to neutralize those key players?
Very real possibility. And then there's that other thing.
What's that?
Manchester United's defense.
Oh, right. Their struggles.
Only 1 clean sheet in their last 14 matches.
I mean, that's not a great trend.
Worrying trend, you could say,
yeah.
And to add fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
FCSB has been incredibly consistent in front of goal.
8 out of their last 10.
Exactly. So does that make both teams to score bet a solid play?
Ooh, that's interesting, because I know one of the articles we looked at even recommended that bet.
Yeah, it's a compelling argument. Both teams have shown vulnerabilities defensively.
Yeah, for sure.
And both have demonstrated some real firepower up front.
Okay, I'm adding that to my notes. Any other insights that jumped out at you from the articles?
Well, one article really highlighted FCSB's impressive home record.
In the Europa League group stages.
Yeah, exactly, which we touched on earlier.
22 home matches, only 3 losses. That's some serious home field advantage.
They know how to use it for sure.
It makes you wonder...
What's that?
If Manchester United will be able to handle it.
Will their experience and star power be enough?
Will FCSB and their home crowd be too much for them to handle?
Exactly. And that just adds another layer of complexity.
This is why I love the Europa League. You get these unexpected matchups.
You really do.
These clashes of styles, and on any given night, anything can happen.
I couldn't agree more.
So true.
So for our listener, this means they can go into their meeting ready for some lively discussion.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a quick recap of the key takeaways.
Okay, sounds good.
This is your pre-match cheat sheet.
Your need-to-know info.
You've got a close match on your hands, potentially high scoring.
Both teams finding the back of the net.
Manchester United looking shaky defensively and potentially overly reliant on Fernandes, Diallo, and Martinez for goals, but...
But don't forget, FCSB is a force to be reckoned with on their home turf.
So while the predictions lean towards a tight contest, the big question remains.
Will Manchester United's experience in European competition give them the edge?
Or will FCSB pull off a historic win on their home turf? I wouldn't want to be the one making the prediction.
It's really too close to call.
That's what makes it so exciting, right?
Exactly.
Well, you've given our listeners so much to think about.
Hopefully.
I'm sure they'll be the most informed person at that meeting.
Fingers crossed.
Anything else they should keep in mind? Let me think.